everybody, Bovine Hamster here. It's been a while. For those of you that don't know, I have been on Twitch going through Xcom. I've completed it on the normal mode. I'm just about to obliterate it in veteran mode, and after that I will be, sorry, not veteran, commander mode, and soon I'll be going on to veteran mode. So what I want to do is I want to go over how I'm doing this and my top tips for dealing with the Xcom. So the first thing that I did when I started this game, the first thing that I did was I started excavating all of these rooms. Okay, and my goal, first goal, is to get down to a power relay. Okay, you'll see it, it'll be a disused power relay, and the reason you want to do that is because when you put your power relays into a disused power relay that's already there, you get additional power. Okay, and as you can see, I don't think I've got any other power. We've got two power relays, so we've got both our power relays on here. These were both disused power relays, and you can see just with not even the second one being maxed out, I'm at 55 power, which was enough to basically power my entire facility here. Okay, the second reason that you want to do this is because the resources that you get from clearing out these rooms are invaluable. You will find supplies and intellect hard to come by at the early game, and every time you excavate a room you get either supplies or you get Illyrium crystals, so you need to be doing that. So after you build your power relay, the second thing you want to be building is your communication center. Okay, resistance communications. I've got two of them, I believe. I've got one up here and I've got one down here, and the reason you want to do that is because, as you can see at the top here, there are 16 contacts that you can get in touch with. Okay, now when you go onto the geoscape, the first thing you want to be doing is you want to be making contact with neighboring countries as soon as possible. That's what you need to do. You want to do that for two reasons. First of all, the extra income that you got. Okay, all of the regions have got 845 income up there at the top right hand corner. So every month I'm getting the best part of a bag of sand coming in for me to spend. Okay, the second reason is the advent facilities. Okay, now the magic thing to remember about the Avatar project is the little bars at the top are designed to make you try and go faster. Newsflash, you don't have to. I've had the bar maxed out now 5 times on this playthrough, specifically because I wanted to see what would happen. And what happens is when you max it out, the game isn't over. You have 12 days to take down an alien facility or do something that will remove one of the Avatar project blocks. Okay, so this gives you time. It gives you time, especially if your troops are injured. It gives you time to just sit back, not worry too much about the Avatar project, wait for your guys to be healed, and then go and do it. There are 3 facilities to start off with. One's hidden and 2 slowly reveal themselves. One of them you can hack through a data pad. Once you have taken down all 3, okay, the last one that you take down, if the Avatar project is maxed out, actually removes 5 blocks of the Avatar project, so it drops it down to about 50%. So there is no reason to panic, guys. Okay, that is a mechanic put in there to try and make you desperately want to finish the Avatar project, to stop them from completing the Avatar project. Don't let them complete it. You've got 12 days after. It gives you more time. Okay, you don't have to rush around and do it. Okay, so if we take a look at our geoscape, as you can see, I have made contact with everybody. Okay, everybody. Can we zoom out? There we go. So zoom all the way out. There we go. As you can see, we're 3 blocks away from the Avatar project. I'm not going to bother doing any of the facilities. I've got 2 facilities that are on the map at the moment. And we started off here, and we have slowly colonized everything. Okay, which gives you a lot of income. So the next thing you want to be thinking about is keeping your squad alive. How do you keep your squad alive? Well, the first thing you want to be doing is getting armor for them. Now, with my strategy, what I do is I usually run with in the early game, I run with 2 rangers. So as you see, I've got 2 Colonel Rangers here. So I usually run with 2 Rangers to start off with, because they are very good at getting to places and killing people very, very easily. I run 2 Specialists, okay, that are both healers. This is going to keep your Rangers alive. And then I have a Sharpshooter, and that is my starting lineup there. Later on, once you've unlocked the additional places, you can do whatever you want. I would very highly recommend getting one of these Psi Operatives, because they are amazingly good. You can control one of the enemy, then use them as cannon fodder to scout everything out, and your guys can just sit back and shoot. It's pretty simple. Okay, so you need to get armor for them. You need to get good weapons for them. That's what you want. But the armor is more important, and the reason it's more important is it keeps them alive. And as long as you've got 2 medics and you've 2 specialists as medics, because they can medicate people without actually being next to them, which is super useful, then you're good to go, really. You're good to go. The next thing you want to look at is guerrilla tactics. So the first thing that I always get in guerrilla tactics is Vulture. And the reason I want to do that is because you have a greater chance of picking up additional items. Okay, it says enemy items drop an additional item every time loot is dropped. This is invaluable, especially when you get scopes. Your guy's ability to hit early on is really, really crap. You're looking at about 45%. If you can get up to 50, 55, 60% chance, yeah, you've got a greater chance of hitting, and this is going to help you a lot in the early game. So getting Vulture is fantastic. You also get the PCS items potentially dropping as well. I've had loads and loads of PCS dropped, so this is very much worth it. The next thing you want to work on is wet work. Why do you want wet work? Well, 25% extra experience gained from kills. You need to level your guys up as fast as possible. The quicker they get to Colonel, the quicker they become just these absolute badasses that just run around killing everything. My Rangers, my Sharpshooters obliterate. I have a Sharpshooter which has an additional 3 ammo, so she's got 6 ammo. She sets up on her Overwatch with a cone of fire, and then bam, 6 things are dead. As soon as 6 things move in that cone of fire, they're dead. Okay, so you need to get these guys up leveled as soon as possible. Then you want to be going into squad size. Get squad size 1 and squad size 2. Okay. The rest of these are all kind of optional. Integrated warfare, it's okay. It gives you, if you get a PCS that's +3 bonus, it gives you 4 stats instead. So if your movement's +3, it gives you +4. If your health is +3, it gives you +4. It's small and it's not necessary. So I would suggest getting that later down the line rather than early. Stay with me. Again, the way I run it, because I've got 2 medics, it's very rare that anyone dies. I've had one person bleed out and one person die, and that is it. That's all I've had. So stay with me. I have found not really that useful. If you're not as patient as I am, then you might want to go for this, especially if your guys are getting hammered quite a bit. This is epic. Okay, plus 3 damage and plus 15% to critically hit with your swords. Wow. Okay, this just allows your rangers to just run around and kill people. When you couple that with the untouchable skill, it means they can run out, kill something, and then stand there. Someone shoots them, they're not going to get hit. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Okay, an extra 10% chance to critically hit enemies. I have my sharpshooter hooked up for critical strike. She has a crit scope for 15%. She has crit ammo for 20%. Yeah, and then she's got the extra 10% there. So just off of that basis, that is 45% crit. So she is critting almost half the time. Does a shed ton of damage. She does about 14 damage a shot, which is really, really good. Okay, specialists cool under pressure. My specialists are healers, so I haven't really used this at all. But these are the 3 main ones that you want. You want the Ranger's Hunter Instinct, Sharpshooter Deadshot, and the Grenadier Biggest Booms, because the ability to critically hit with explosives is just insane, especially when you're hitting like 2 or 3 targets. Okay. Brilliant. Now, I do not recommend doing these DLCs early on in a commander or veteran game. They are extremely hard to do. This one here, you constantly get enemies spawning all the time, so you need to have a very, very good skill of troop going into this. And this one here, the bosses that you face, every time you take an action, the boss gets an action. It is insane. As you can see, I'm very close to finishing this game on Commander, and I still haven't bothered to brave these ones yet. Still haven't bothered to brave these ones. So, assuming you've done all that, okay, then you should be on good stead. Remember, research is not a priority, really. The priority is getting these rooms sorted. So I always take engineers over scientists. As you can see, I've got 9 engineers and 5 scientists. The workshop is really, really good. You can put
Advent is not taking the death of an elder lightly, and
you
in
can put
turn
an
have greatly
engineer in here,
accelerated
and you
the
get 2
final
gremlins.
stages of their
And the 2
Avatar
gremlins
project.
you can put in
A
different
plan
rooms
is now
to
in place for the
act
rapid
as an engineer.
processing of all
So
non-essential human life
that's
to
really
begin
useful.
immediately.
And then the last thing, let's go over how I build my heroes. Okay, as you can see here, I have killed a lot of things. Wow. Okay, so let's take a look at the soldiers even. So, Rangers. When it comes to combat sims, there's 2 sims that I like to go for. Either the agility, giving them plus 32 dodge, or you can go for the speed. Now what I've found is that early game speed works, late game the dodge is really, really poignant. Okay, now depending on how you want to gear your guys, You can actually increase their dodge by using a wraith suit or a spider suit. Or there's a special armor I won't tell you about if you haven't played the game, that basically allows you to get extra dodge as well. I think it's up to 25 or 30% dodge. So if he was to have his wraith suit on, he would be on 57% dodge chance. Okay. Now when you dodge, you take half damage. It would be really useful if he was out there. The thing is, I find having the 2 item slots where he can have critical chance and the immunity to fire, acid or poisons just a lot better, really a lot better for him. But if I was to do the last level, then I would load him out with the dodge, because he needs to survive basically. Yeah, combat sims, yeah, dodge all the way. What weapon upgrades have we got for him? Well, his weapon upgrades you don't really need that much, because he very rarely fires his weapon. But what I have got here is a hair trigger. I would like the hair trigger to be 15% instead of 5%, but that's all I've got. And the aim is 5%. He doesn't really shoot that much, but I would like that to be 15%. And that's how I would gear my ranger. My sharpshooter. Actually, let's take a look at his abilities. Okay, and I'll explain why I have done these. So, Blade Master over Phantom. Why is that? Well, because running up and smacking people in the face with a big sword, which generally has a 100% chance to hit, is insane. Okay, so he has an 85% aim chance. Yeah, he gets an extra 10 aim for his sword weapon. That's a 95% hit chance. Yeah, generally it's 100%. It's insane. Blade Master is way better than Phantom. The ability to stay stealthed, meh, not interested. Shadow Strike or Shadow Step. Well, you're not going to be in stealth that often. Okay, you're not going to be concealed that often. Just the ability to be able to run around and know no one's going to shoot you because people are on Overwatch is fantastic. He can run up to the person who is Overwatch, smash him in the face, drop them out of Overwatch. What more can you want? This was a hard one. Run and gun or conceal, depending on what you want to do. Run and gun is more poignant later on in the game because you can run and gun, basically. You can take your action at full distance, which is quite good. I took conceal early game because we didn't have a psi operative, which meant that he could go and conceal and he could do the scouting for us. So it was going to cause us a lot less damage to our squad. Implaceable or Blade Storm here, okay. I prefer Blade Storm over Implaceable, and the reason being is that I generally have him very, very close to people. Sometimes if I see a dropship coming in, I will run him into the middle of the red dot on the dropship because that's where they all drop. And when they try to run away, he gets three hits on all the guys that are there. And I just find this just the ability to be able to attack sometimes when someone comes into range, especially when you're dealing with I can't remember, little spidery things that envenom you. If they run up and try and attack you, you can kill them before they even attack you, which is fantastic. Okay, deep cover or untouchable. Okay, hunkering down automatically versus not getting hit when you kill something. He does a lot of killing. A lot of killing. Untouchable is the way forward. Yeah, you could be the best marksman in the world, but if you shoot him and he's untouchable, you ain't hitting. So, rapid fire versus the Reaper. This here, fire twice in a row at an enemy. Woo! Okay. You can potentially kill 2 people. This, I have killed 7 people in 1 turn before. That is how overpowered this ability is. Reaper, along with Shadow Step and Blade Master combining, just to allow you to run in there, just keep hitting people in the face over and 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 over again. It is absolutely fantastic and devastating. Right, let's move on to our Sharpshooter. Now, I don't have a personal combat sim for her at the moment, because what I want is the Perception one, which gives you chance of hitting, okay, which she doesn't have at the moment. So with her, extra mobility, doesn't need it, she's got a grappling hook. Dodge, she never gets shot at. Conditioning, she never gets shot at. Focus wheel, she's never in a position to be taken over psychically anyway. So they're all pretty useless, so I haven't even bothered putting one on her. She's still got 101 aim anyway, which is fantastic. The weapon upgrades, she is a crit machine, so she has a superior laser sight here, okay, which is 15% crit, and the +3 clip size that I was talking about. Okay, and that is very, very poignant. Very, very poignant. The other thing you might give her early on, maybe scope to give her some aim. What I did do earlier on as well, because she didn't have the skills that I wanted to start off with, was free reload. And that way she can, even after her 3 shots, she can reload and then take another snipe shot. If you reload and you don't have a free reload, then she can't take a snipe shot. She can only shoot with her pistol, which I find pretty crap. So let's take a look at abilities. What abilities have I gone for? Okay, return fire versus long watch. My sniper is a sniper. She sits on top of buildings and she'll shoot you in the face. Okay. So she needs to see everything that everyone else can see. She'll just sit at the back. You find an elevated position at the back and she can see anything that you can see with other heroes. Much better than return fire, in my opinion, for the way I play. Okay, Deadeye versus Lightning Hands. Okay, so what it doesn't tell you here is what the aim penalty is. The aim penalty is 25. That is not a small aim penalty, especially in the early game. She's 91 at aim now. She wasn't to start off with. She was about, I think it's like 60 or something. So you're suddenly taking a shot at 40. It's not worth it at all. The free pistol shot, sometimes you get to use it. You just use a free pistol shot. You can do some damage to someone who's close. Doesn't generally kill someone, but it's extra damage. Extra damage and without any aim penalty, which is fantastic. Okay, quick draw versus death from above. So why do we like death from above? Well, you shoot someone, you kill them, you get to reload your weapon. Simple as. You can't do another sniper shot with this, but you can reload your weapon, which sometimes if she's been sitting in Overwatch, she gets a shot, then you shoot again, suddenly her 3 ammo capacity is down to 1. Yeah, you can get to reload for free. That is fantastic. Kill zone versus face off. Kill zone all the way. Kill zone, if you don't know, puts a massive cone shape in front of you. You can basically arc it to wherever you want, and anything that is an enemy that moves in that cone, she shoots at. If she's got 6 ammo, that is 6 shots she's going to be taking. She has in 1 turn taken out 6 people. It is insane. Steady hand versus aim. Okay, she doesn't hunker down. She does just sit at the top of a building and shoot people. She doesn't move. she permanently has plus 10 plus 10 crit chance. Okay, so suddenly your 45% crit chance is now 55%. Oh yes. Serial versus Fan of Fire. I don't use pistols with her. I don't use pistols. I want snipers. Okay, so I go for a serial, and that way she can just pop, 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 and just keep shooting people and killing them. Especially with the crit chance, where you're doing anywhere between 12 and 15 damage, which is pretty insane. Her armor, I go for a wraith suit. It's got. She doesn't need to dodge, but it's good grapple. It gives her a bit of mobility as well, so she can get into good positions that she needs to. I give the Shadow Keeper as well. This is a Hunter DLC. Which, if you see someone on low health and you shoot them using the Shadow Fall, is a guaranteed shot, and you become stealthed again. So if she's in a little bit of trouble, you can use that. Although she just sits at the back. So let's have a look at my specialist. This is someone who is designed purely for healing. Combat sims, what do we go for? Well, for her, it is pure movement. +4 mobility there, okay? I need her to be in places so that she can help other people. That's all I needed to do. Sometimes she sits at the back and she uses her medical protocol twice, yeah, or maybe she uses her aid protocol and medical protocol, and she gets left behind by her team. She needs that extra mobility to catch up with everyone. So what have we got for weapon upgrades for her? Weapon upgrades, not really that important for her. She doesn't really do too much. She does do the occasional Overwatch, so I've given her increased aim and some extra clip size, because one of her abilities means that if she hits in an Overwatch, she has a 50% chance of making another shot, and just having that extra ammo capacity there is fantastic. Right. Abilities. So, medical protocol over combat protocol. Combat protocol is pretty good early game, especially if you've got people that are on like 2 health and you need to kill them. But I tend to find as I get armor quick, the medical protocol is the best. Revival protocol versus haywire protocol. Okay, well I went for a haywire protocol just generally because it's really good for stopping machines. If you've got a sector pod who's just about to rain hell on you, she can hack them quite easily and stop the devastation from happening. Field medic versus scanning protocol. Hands down, field medic. Okay. Covering fire versus threat assessment. I love threat assessment. Okay. Threat assessment allows you to basically put someone in Overwatch. So your ranger, who has just run out, killed 7 people with his hack and slash, has his untouchable. You can then put a threat assess on him, and then he goes into Overwatch as well, so he can kill 8 people in a turn. It's pretty insane. Gives him plus 40 defense as well, which means it takes 100% shot chance down to 60%, and it's just beastly. It's absolutely beastly. Guardian versus Ever Vigilant. So I went for Guardian, so every successful Overwatch there's a 50% chance another shot will be taken. Pretty good. She doesn't really move that often, so Ever Vigilant isn't really that poignant, to be perfectly honest. And Capacity Discharge versus Restoration, the ability to heal your entire party is OP as hell, especially when you start getting some of the later on kind of AoE barrages, especially with the orbs. Oh my god, they are insane. Suddenly 3 or 4 of your guys have taken 6 damage, she'll heal them straight away. It is an amazing ability, and I very much recommend it as a specialist. Grenadier. Grenadier. What do we do for the Grenadier? We do a war suit. Why do we do a war suit? Because we get to blow stuff up. Lots of stuff. Okay. Put an acid grenade with him because it helps him to remove armor. He's got AP rounds, so his weapons go through armor anyway. He's got a heavy weapon rocket launcher, which is part of the exosuit. And let's take a look at the beam cannon. So for these guys, a lot of their special abilities that they have takes up the entirety of their magazine. So you end up having to reload with these guys quite a bit. So I found it very, very, very good to have three free reloads. Okay, so we've got the superior autoloader on there. So that means he can use his abilities as and when he wants to and reload straight away, no problems. And some superior aim. One of the things I find is that these guys have about 75 aim, which is just appalling. It's horrible. You got a 75% chance of hitting something. He gets plus 15. Suddenly you're on a 90% chance of hitting things. It is just, it's needed. If these guys don't have that, then they generally find it really hard to hit the broadside of a barn. He cannot miss a sectopod. And you really need this guy to be hitting sectopods to start shredding the armor, because he shreds 3 armor per hit. Sectopod has 6 armor, so you're doing a really good job of shredding the armor there. So, what kind of sims do we give him? For this guy, there's generally 2 that you can go for. You can either go for speed, actually 3, speed, aim, or health. On this guy I've gone for health, because he's been a target quite a few times. He's had to get up nice and close and he's been in a lot of trouble. But later on, if I come across any of the perceptions PCS combats sims, then I will put the aim on him, because 75% is crazy. And then I would swap the aim off of the weapon for some crit, for some extra damage. So let's take a look at his abilities, see what we have gone for here. So Shredder, I prefer Shredder to blast pads. Just the ability to be able to take off the alien's armor, especially in the late game, is just invaluable. Yeah. Demolition versus suppression. Went for some suppression just to help my team out a little bit. I very rarely use it. Heavy ordnance or hollow targeting. I like the ability to be able to blow crap up, so I went for heavy ordnance. But hollow targeting is pretty good as well, especially if you find something that's hard to hit. Giving an extra 15 aim is pretty good, but late game you shouldn't really need it, because your guys should have the ability to be able to hit stuff. Chain shot, minus 15, you get to shoot twice. Yeah, 75% chance of hitting. Nah, not having that. Volatile mechs, grenades do an extra plus 2 damage. Yeah, perfect. Extra damage, blow stuff up. Gotta be able to do that. Salvo versus hail of bullets. Okay. Hail of bullets uses your entire mag, but it's a guaranteed hit. Can be good sometimes. I quite like this one, because using your grenade and then shooting them in the face, pretty good, especially if you're dealing with a couple of sectopods. You can suddenly take one sectopod down to half health in one turn with this guy. He is basically the heavy hitter, and he destroys, absolutely annihilates machinery. Then we've got saturation, fire, or rupture. Okay. Rupture. Yeah. Rupture. You hit a sector pod with this. They take +3 damage from all sources. That sector pod melts. Trust me. Okay. This is pretty good, but you have to rely on everyone being grouped up for it. And I haven't really found a very good use for that yet. Rupture is the go-to for me. Next one we have. We've done all those. So the Psi Operative. These guys are absolutely invaluable. The ability to be able to control the enemy is just fantastic. You can just send out your enemies to basically scout out and kill the other enemies. So what we got here? We've got a war suit. Okay, a war suit. Now, why do we want a war suit on this guy? Well, it's got +2 armor, +6 health. Okay, these guys get focused down. The enemy, for whatever reason, specifically target the Psykers. I'm not sure why. I guess it's in their programming. But if he is in a position where he is vulnerable, they will basically just feed on him. Okay. We've given him a shredder gun. Again, basically we want to take down anyone who's got a lot of armor. And we've got this little bad boy here, a mimic beacon. These are fantastic. If your squad's in a very, very shaky position, you throw one of these out and everyone shoots it. Yeah, it's like a taunt. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Personal combat sin. So what have we given him? We're giving him +4 HP. Why is that? Because they target him. Simple as. They target him. We did have some extra will on top of him, but Solace, which is one of his abilities he got, means he can't get mind controlled anyway, so there was no point in having that. So I definitely recommend the extra health on this guy. The extra health is needed, the extra armor is needed. So let's take a look at what we've given him. We've given him a repeater in case he takes shots. It doesn't really make too much difference. He generally uses his psychic powers more than he does his gun. Okay, and he's got an extra 5% aim. As you can see, these are very low grade upgrades that I'm not really interested in him actually having. Now the fun bit, his abilities. Here we go. So Soulfire are given straight away. Insanity. Why do we like Insanity? It potentially allows you to take over someone. Yeah, okay. You want that. Inspire. Inspire is fantastic. Your ranger gets himself up a particular creek without a paddle. You use Inspire to get him out of it. It allows them to have a free turn. Super. Soul Steal. Basically, half of the damage you... Soulfire transfers half of the damage done back to the Psi Operative's health. Okay, so when you use your Psi abilities to deal damage, you get health back, which is fantastic. He can heal himself. It's awesome. Solace. This is brilliant. The Psi Operative is surrounded by an aura and immediately extinguishes or blocks any mental impairments for themselves and any nearby squad mates. It basically makes him immune to mind control. And if you've got someone that is mind controlled, you run him over until they get into the aura that he creates. The mind control is taken away. It is fantastic. We've got Schism. Instantly now does a small amount of guaranteed damage and applies Rapture to the target. I don't know what Rapture is, but cool story, bro. Fusion's funny. You can cast it on people. They drop grenades and blow themselves up. Domination is a must. You once per game, you can take someone over and control them for full stop, which is very, very good. Void Riff, fantastic. Explosive field of psychic energy that immediately damages everything within it. Organic enemies have a chance to suffer insanity. Okay, so you sit there, you blow them up, does a lot of damage, heals you at the same time because of soul steal. Happy days. No lance, fantastic. I think it does anywhere between 12 and 14 damage on organic targets. He just blows things to pieces. And as you can see, the combination of insanity, null, void rift, domination, inspire, he's not really going to be doing much with his weapon, so you don't really need to worry too much about what kind of weapon this guy has. So that is basically how I build my guys. That is how I managed to go through, and as you can see, we'll take a look at the memorial. We've lost one soldier. One soldier. Okay. And we have almost completely completed it. The only reason I haven't completed it yet is I wanted to go through and finish all the research and do everything that we could. So that is how to win, guys. That is my strategy and what I use in order to win.
The aliens have always
I
been
put as much
monsters.
detail as I can in the
From the very
description, but I
beginning,
have
it was
run
one
out of
failed
space,
science experiment after
so I
another.
could have put everything in there.
And
Hope
the
this helps you out,
advent forces
guys.
they tried to
If it
disguise
has, give it a
no
like.
different underneath all that
Write in the
armor.
comments what
Now
you
it
think
comes
about
to
this video,
this,
and if
an
it's
entire
helped you at all,
facility dedicated
let me
to
know that I'm on
wiping
the right
us
track.
out.
That'd be fantastic.
Not
And if there's
just that,
anything else you'd like to
but
know about
turning us
XCOM, I
into what?
can tell you.
Some
I'm
kind
going to
of
start
concentrate they're using
streaming
for God knows. We should have
streaming
known the elders
the
would
veteran
return.
playthrough
We
next
should
week.
have known they
Anyway, guys, take care.
never
I'll
left.
speak to you soon.